You know, you are 100% perfect the way you are right now. And I want you to know that, and I want you to feel that. But that leaves us with a question of, well, why is life the way it is then? Why does it feel so imperfect? Why do we run into financial challenges or health challenges? Why do we have personality clashes? There are all these questions that feel unanswered if we're really thinking, well, we're perfect the way we are. And then that leaves that whole idea of, oh, I am perfect in the world of affirmations and not a real thing. It's sort of like this airy fairy affirmations world. And what I'm here to do is to help absolutely cement the idea that you are perfect, but it's all about executing that perfection in this world. That's what practical spiritual living is really all about, is executing the inner perfection. Okay, so our inner perfection comes in through tools that are not perhaps perfected. And those tools have their own challenges, especially when we are not aligned with that perfection that is trying to flow through them. And so the whole idea of living a perfect life is not living without challenges. It is actually coming into those challenges and refining them and improving them into the flesh and into even the mind, which is not you. Now, the mind is a tremendous tool to bring into conscious planning what you really are. And the body is an incredible tool if we will support it, if we will keep it strong to execute on those plans of what our inner self wants to do. And what I want to do is show you an easy tool that you can use that will help you understand how to better execute that inner perfection. Now, if you haven't run across it already, I find human design to be the most accurate and personal tool out there for really assessing how you are designed to operate. And if you operate correctly, it means that you accurately bring through that inner perfection that you are. And the challenge most of us have is that we've been conditioned to live in certain ways, and we've been conditioned to live according to the design that society has decided is the best possible expression of one's human design. They don't put it in those terms, but basically society says this is how you should be, and so we try to fit our unique, complex design into this pattern over here. And as soon as we do that, we become what in human design is called not self, but it means not expressing who we are. And the thing is, every human design is different. What I'm going to show you here is a very, very simple introductory portion of human design, and you have access to this absolutely for free in my tool. Go to app.3brainliving.com, put in your birth date, and you will get this same information, but for you. But this is very introductory as to what you will see. Every human design is a little bit different, and the only way perfection happens in the world, that is the only way I will say the divine is fully expressed on this planet, is if every human is living their own unique design. And then not only is their best life being lived, but that trickles into every other life. The more lives are being lived properly according to design, the more the entire thing operates the way it's meant to. And that's what really brings you into a golden age. And our job, if we are really dedicated to practical spiritual living, our job is to live our design and to bring that into the world. And so if you tap into this tool, what you're going to get at the very beginning, and again, you can go into much more nuances with a proper human design coach, somebody who's been certified through training and everything. So But at a very basic level, just understanding your type and your strategy and authority helps you understand how you can best live in the world. The type is just going to help you understand how your energy works. Like a generator, which is most of humanity, they have this steady life force energy that is used throughout the day, and they produce it and use it throughout the day, but not everybody is a generator. And yet in society, we're expecting everybody to fit into that mold, and people who don't have the same energy system are supposed to look like that, and they can't. They don't. It's not right for them, and it drives illness or incorrect operation when they're doing that. And the moment you understand that somebody's energy works differently is the moment you start to develop compassion for them and say, wow, maybe I've been trying to force my son, my daughter, my spouse, my friend into a way of operating that isn't right for them. Maybe I need to recognize that and see how we work in a way that's good for both of us. But then this whole idea of strategy and authority is so important. This is where, if you live according to these, that is, you honor the natural flow through the body and respond correctly to that, this is how you are going to be expressing your purpose. So you might learn your purpose over here, but this is how you live it. So regardless of where you're meant to end up, this is what gets you there. Okay? And so strategy, in the case of this sample here in the app, to respond, and that is to wait for life to bring you sort of invitations, opportunities, and then your gut responds to that. Do I have the energy for that? Do I not have the energy for that? And that's one type of strategy. Not everybody has that strategy. So understanding what your strategy is, and then how you follow that, that is so important. Now again, I am not personally a human design consultant. I know a lot about human design because my wife is. But that said, because I've learned a lot about it, I've gotten pretty passionate about just sharing it, introducing it to people, and of course, as you can see here, offering you a free tool so you can get the basics in this beautiful, simple format to understand. So once you understand what your strategy is, you also have to understand that authority. So for this person, as an emotional authority, they actually have to go through some highs and lows, emotional highs and lows, and kind of feel like, okay, if I strip those out and look at what is what's continuing over time through that wave, that's going to help me to make a decision, as opposed to somebody else maybe much more in the moment. For instance, for my own type of authority, my body will literally move towards an or an a yes or a no, which is really interesting. Esoterically, there's a lot of commentary around that. But this is an interesting thing to understand about yourself, is how does it feel when you are responding to something correctly. And so what I'm going to do is just introduce you to look at this. And by the way, in the body graph area, you can actually learn all about, your defined and undefined centers, learn what those mean for you just by clicking on them. So there's a lot here that's absolutely free for you. I encourage you to check it out at app.3brainliving.com. and see if you feel like this moves you into a place where things are moving more smoothly, are moving more according to that inner perfection. Because I really believe in every human being. I believe we are all perfect on our inner nature, and that even that is relative to the perfections of the universe. I believe there's layers to everything because I believe we live in a holographic universe. But relatively speaking, we are absolutely perfect, and we're here for a specific job, for a specific purpose that we are each individually here to live. And if you're not doing that, it's not great for you, and it's not great for those around you. So when we think we're being polite by conforming to what those around us want, we're actually not doing what's best for us and for them in the long run. So I encourage you to find that strategy and authority for yourself. Start to live that and start to see how perfection feels as you start living it in your own life.